What's crap and napping? Yeah, it's crazy out here, but all right. It's like I know you. If you're not familiar with the term blood sacrifice or illuminati sacrifice, I mean, where you been, man? Are you playing stupid? Who'd you sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? Let me look at your bank account. You know what I'm saying? Let me look at your resume, man. Let me peep that and see if if you got papers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like in the all right. If you're if you're a follower of Christ, if you're a biblical follower, you know what I'm saying? If you be pursuing that train of thought, man, that walk of life, it says that we are to be presented as a living sacrifice. Not as a sacrifice like, look, present yourself to be your heart torn out of the top pyramids, or thrown to lions, or tossed in Moloch statues and things like that, or thrown on crucified and all that. No, it's like it's it's kind of even more. We're called to even be something worse than that, which is to live, to live. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and in the Bible it always says, "He that endureth until the end." You know what I'm saying? It's like, really, it calls you out to have endurance. It's not just, don't lay your life down for nothing, which is is even more scary, because I mean, death. Uh, Sometimes it seems like a way out of this. I mean, and it seems like God's trying to warn us that we got to try to stay in it and be a living sacrifice, not a dead sacrifice that's slaughtered for blood sacrifice, for like appeasement to gods, like gods that dwell in temples and that are built with man's hands. Them type of gods, like Greeks, uh, Egyptians, Mayans. Yeah, but we're not like them guys. It's almost like like the old like I even heard him try to say that it was Satan that snuck in and pretended to be God, that when he asked Abraham to offer up Isaac. It's just uh I mean, I know that's exactly what that was. That was a living sacrifice. It's like, oh, like God was like this. He was like, "Oh, okay, Abraham. I mean, I knew you was a loyal man, and a righteous man, but that's pretty damn righteous that you would offer up your pride and joy as a sacrifice. But look, it's a living sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because you know, if you're willing to give me all, well, then I'm willing to give you all. You know, I mean, that's just the way it works when it comes to the God thing. The more you sacrifice, the more you'll be rewarded with. But I mean, not because you're sacrificing for reward. It's just because you're compelled out of your own heart, because you feel in your own heart that's what's right. It's kind of just the same thing as Samson. Like, people don't, they think Samson was just bestowed this power for no reason. No, his mother cried out to God and offered him as a living sacrifice, and he ended up dying as a self-sacrifice when he destroyed the temple of Dagon. But it was because of his mother's faith, her asking, and God granted it. He's like, listen, as long as this covenant between me and you, as long as your son don't cut the hair, it shows that he's keeping the covenant between me and you, his mother, not between Samson. It had nothing to do with Samson. It was his mother's faith and God granting it, because she offered him as a living sacrifice. But you can't offer up your children. Once your children get to a certain age, they have their own life, so they make their own decisions at that point. You know what I'm saying? So, in the end, it couldn't be taken out of the hand of God. You know what I'm saying? Though, Samson himself kind of, didn't take his covenant seriously at a point. You know what I'm saying? He started taking it lightly, and then it was taken from him for a minute. You know what I'm saying? To make him remember what was important, that he forgot. You know what I'm saying? But living sacrifices, lively stones. You know what I'm saying? So this is a totally radically opposite uh type of sacrifice than it is in the rest of the world. The rest of the world requires blood sacrifice, infanticide, uh, your firstborn, uh, your allegiance, your total allegiance. Your basically, if you listen, there's certain circles out there that they will take your signature in blood as payment. You know, out here, so there must be something to that. You know what I'm saying? There must be something that we have that someone else wants. They want our name on paper with our blood on it. You know what I'm saying? For some reason. Uh I mean, I know that's people say, "Oh man, that's just Hollywood, man. That's Hollywood. That's just Hollywood stuff, man. That's that devil advocate." You know what I'm saying? But no, where did they get? Who wrote that movie? Who did he talk to? Who was his insider connection? Because I mean, I heard Lucifer has his own office building at Goldman Sachs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if that's just rumor, if they're just preying on our superstitions or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Or is Lucifer really chilling? You know what I'm saying? Goldman Sachs. Uh, but he at Goldman Sachs. He can reward you for your human sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Your living sacrifice, yeah, you'll get yours in time. But I mean, while you're trying to present yourself as that, I mean, you're gonna get. They're gonna try to. It's like casting a pearl before the swine. The swine don't give a fuck if that's a pearl or if that's shit. They're gonna trample it none the same. They're the same. Uh, because I mean, basically, it's like, look, yeah, look, the things that are important to you, to the beasts that walk around in people's bodies, they look, your most sacred thing is nothing to them. It's all dung. Let's wallow in the dung. You know what I'm saying? So why would you even bring your precious thing in the midst of these dung seekers? You know what I'm saying? Basically. So you know, you don't have to go broadcast it. You know that you're a living sacrifice, because I mean, it's like God doesn't call you to die. Basically, He calls you to live, which is it's even more. It's like, ugh, ugh. I mean, I've had enough gayness as it is. Now I know what is really required of us. You know what I'm saying? It just it's like it's uh I mean, it would be another thing if this truly was a utopia. You know what I'm saying? Then it wouldn't be nothing to be a living sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Every day is happy day. But you know that you just it's never gonna happen. That whole utopia idea, but you know, I mean that's a hard call, man. Living sacrifice, man. I mean, you should really dwell and ponder on what that actually means. Am I saying I'm a living sacrifice? Of course not, dude. Of course not. Don't get me twisted. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a dude out here. I just study. I'm being, made aware of certain things over the years, over time, and then studying with others who present their information. You know what I'm saying? I study with them, alongside of them, and new things get brought to my attention, deeper levels of understanding. It's like Isaiah, man. This is the best instruction for learning, man. It's just little by little, line upon line, precept upon precept. It's not as so much that you have a precept, but you have precepts upon precepts to back up your precepts. Also, little by little. It's a long fucking process. It's little by little. It doesn't say by great leaps and bounds. No, it says little by little. line upon line. Anytime you read, and you see how much patience it takes to actually get through a decent sized book with small print, or small font. Uh, and it's time staking. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. It's a long term. It's a scholarly work as well. As well as a spiritual growth work. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's almost like this. Okay, if you have either, let's say, the gospel all memorized, that's like having one lens. If you look in a telescope with one lens, it's blurry. You even put two lenses in a telescope. Like, say you got the Middle Testament and the New Testament. All right, now you have two lenses, okay? That's line upon line, precept upon precept. But then you add in the Old Testament, you got three uh lenses now in your telescope. So now things are coming almost into focus, but there's still something missing. You have to check out the extra biblical texts that have been left out purposefully. Jasher, Jubilee, uh, and Enoch, and what's the other one? I'm not sure yet, man, but I haven't checked into it myself, but been made aware of this thing called the Apocrypha. That, like, some people say that it's not biblically based scripture, but then other people are contending that, yeah, man, they're quoting from it, just like they did out of Enoch, and just like they did, how they used that. Was it not written in Jasher? Was this not stated in Jubilee? So, I mean, if there's references of these books in the Bible, they're there for a reason. And if they quoted out a different book, like a separate book, verbatim, it's for a reason. It was to trick the controllers back in the day into leaving clues, because they knew that these people were going to try to hide the truth. So they left clues in there and reference points that we could go back and study the other texts that weren't even, some of the texts weren't even discovered at the time. They were hidden still in caves and scrolls over in caves in the Middle East, like the Masoretic and the Sephardim people, even though I know that they got into their own weird factional practices. But yay, man, if they preserve the natural scrolls from back in the day, and they can prove that the King James text is accurate to the actual old school text, which is, it's pretty dope. But I mean, I guess, there's your living sacrifice. It's like, all right, listen, I have to sacrifice uh a certain type of living, because by taking a purpose, like, listen, I'm going to carry this word with me, and this is what I'm going to do. There's going to be a time when it'll be my job to pass it on to someone else, but until then, I gotta be like a sacrifice. Like, no, I gotta fulfill this mission before I can die. That's like sacrifice, and that's like, look, carrying on though you want to give up, which really sucks. Because, I mean, every day I have fucking thoughts about giving up, or going picking a fight with an alligator. You know what I'm saying? Just like, fuck it. If I live, well, I guess it's meant to live. Don't you feel bad for that alligator if I win, because that alligator fucked me up. But I'm not necessarily do that, but I feel like doing that. Restate that. You know what I'm saying? We all feel like doing things, but we have a head and a heart for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So we're just not. We don't have to commit to every thought. You know what I'm saying? Or just because we have a thought doesn't mean that's a true intentions of the heart. It was just a momentary just breakdown. You know what I'm saying? Some people break and stay broken. Other people recover. You know what I'm saying? And try to mend what, it's kind of like when your chain keeps popping off your bike. Well, you got to go manipulate the back sprocket and pull the tire out a little bit, then tighten it. Your chain won't pop off anymore. So if it's reoccurring, well, you got to go to the source and mess with it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah, that's what's up.